What's up, Rolling with Carlos family? What's up, Gator Nation? What's up, any anybody that loves the Gators? What's up? I appreciate the support and everything. In today's video, we're going to cover why is it a personal game, just like it was a personal game for DJ Lagway versus Texas in the swamp, and we took them down last Saturday. The previous number 9 team in the country, the Texas Longhorns. But why is this coming week's game against the Texas A&M Aggies personal for DJ Lagway? I can tell you he was being recruited by Texas A&M before he chose the University of Florida. Also, we're going to go ahead and cover in this episode changes coming to the transfer portal in 2026. I'm going to go ahead and read to you the article, how Florida's game at Texas A&M is personal for DJ Lagway. And then I'll give you my thoughts. We kind of spoke about this yesterday in the Swamp Cast post-game show with my co-host and friend Dylan Olive. How Florida's game at Texas A&M is personal for quarterback DJ Lagway. Florida is not a traditional rivalry of Texas A&M, but Saturday's game at Kyle Field has personal ties for DJ Lagway, written by Cam Parker on yesterday, October the 7th. While the Florida Gators have been semi-familiar opponents at Texas A&M Kyle Field with 3 road games since the Aggies first joined the league in 2012, Saturday's game will be much more personal for starting quarterback DJ Lagway. Lagway, hailing from Willis, Texas, grew up less than 2 hours away from Texas A&M's campus and included the Aggies in the final top 10 schools before committing to Florida. I'm definitely excited to go back and play at Kyle Field. He detailed at the SEC Media Days over the summer. I've even been in a lot of games at Kyle Field for me to be able to play one that's going to be surreal. Having all my family, my teammates, my classmates, my coaches, teachers, all of them being at the game, it's going to be fun. Since his appearance at Media Day, Lagway has had a roller coaster of a sophomore campaign after a rough start to the season, including 5 interception performance against LSU. However, the former 5-star had a breakout performance last week against Texas, throwing for 298 yards, 2 touchdowns in the Gators upset. The yardage also set a career high for Lagway in games against Power 4 opponents. Now, finally having success, Lagway faces yet another tough Power 4 opponent with a night game against the 5th-ranked Aggies. Despite personal ties in the game, Florida head coach Billy Napier believes it will be an ultimate non-factor, but it could give him some extra motivation. I think it can be a positive. Anything that's a motivator that happens to players on a consistent basis. This is just another one of those situations. Napier said on Monday, so it will be a non-factor in the game. It's all going to be about how he prepares and how he executes, presented with the opportunity. Maybe it'll give him a little edge this week. I think certainly for me it would. Anytime we play some of these teams where I'm from, it's definitely part of the puzzle. This will not be the first time Lagway plays the Aggies after going 6 for 13 for 54 yards, a touchdown and 2 interceptions, while splitting time with Graham Mertz in last season's 33-20 loss at home. However, it will be the first time he plays a game in his home state after missing last year's game against Texas due to injury. The Texas A&M coach Mike Elko, who recruited Lagway, has seen significant strides since he first faced Lagway in September of 2024, even more so in Lagway's sophomore campaign. DJ obviously is the kind of kid we've known, tried very hard to get him here, an extremely talented quarterback. He said, I think again, media narratives to me are so funny. I think he's playing so much better than I think he's made a lot of growth, and it's taken a lot of strides. You see him very, very comfortable back there. I think he's playing at a really, really high level. Despite having local ties whatsoever, Lagway is committed to Florida despite offers from Texas A&M and in-state Baylor, where his father Derek played at. SEC Media Days, Napier described recruiting Lagway away from the Lone Star State. We were fortunate that we found DJ early in his high school career. We built great rapport. Napier said DJ stayed the course, and I think one of the things that's unique about our team is that we recruited each one of these groups with the mantra of you have to be up for the challenge in terms of what we're trying to take on here. So DJ was no different in that regard. I think mentality towards recruitment, the consistency in his attitude and his approach, he never wavered. Obviously in a little bit of a difficult time as well. So DJ got great parents. I think he's got a great foundation in terms of the values. I think he's got a great teammate. So he was phenomenal throughout the entire process. And he certainly made a difference in our team. The recruiting process has mirrored his 2025 season with all the ups and downs. Yet Lagway never wavered, following 3 straight poor performances. His performance against Texas may have been the turning point for the young signal caller going forward. I already knew who DJ was. That didn't surprise me. Linebacker Miles Graham said of Lagway's bounce back game, honestly, I knew what type of competitor he was. I know how hard he works and didn't face him at all. So the fact that he gets his ability and his plan from the Lord, so he stresses that. Man, I'm super proud of him. Lagway's first start against the Aggies and first start in his home state will begin at 7 p.m. Eastern with television coverage on ESPN. Yeah, guys, he was majorly recruited by the number 5 Texas A&M Aggies, and this is his home state. He's going to have a major crowd of teammates, former coaches, former teachers. So it is personal, and I think he wants to continue the promise he made to the Florida fan base of turning around the season and trying to see if we can go 9-3 to make the playoffs. And that article was written by Cam Parker, friend of the channel, host of a deeper dive into Gator Nation and Sports Illustrated, Gators Sports Illustrated reporter.
Rolling with Carlos, feel the beat. The stadium's loud turn.
NCAA adopts a January 2nd to January 16th transfer portal window for FCS in 2026. The NCAA officially moving to transfer portal season in college football from December to January. The Division I Administrative Committee voted Tuesday to adopt the proposed dates of January 2nd through January 16th as the new transfer portal window for all FBS and FCS players in 2026. College football players, including graduate transfers, now must wait until January 2nd to officially enter their names in the NCAA transfer portal and initiate contact with other schools. The reform is expected to be finalized at the conclusion of the administrative committee's meetings on Wednesdays. The new 15-day transfer portal window opens one day after college football playoffs quarterfinals conclude. Players on the teams competing in the college football playoff national championship game on January 19th will get an additional 5-day period from January 20th to January 24th to enter the transfer portal after their season ends. The Division I Administrative Committee also approved a reform around the transfer window exception granted to football players after head coaching change, effective immediately, starting 5 days after the head coach is hired or announced. Players will have a 15-day window to enter their names in the portal. Until now, the players were given a 30-day window to enter the portal immediately after a coaching change, which can lead to a large number of players departing the program before the arrival of the next head coach. Players at Arkansas, Oklahoma State, UCLA, and Virginia Tech were grandfathered in under the previous rules and are currently permitted to enter the transfer portal after head coaches at those programs were fired in September. The FBS and FCS Oversight Committee initially proposed moving to a 10-day portal window in January, but agreed to extend the window to 15 days in response to student athlete feedback. The Division I Administrative Council had already eliminated the 15-day spring transfer window in college football last month, formally moving the sport to a single off-season period for transfer activities. While FBS head coaches have been pushing for a single transfer window since January, there was still expected to be a challenge to this reform in the months ahead. Attorney Tom Mars wrote on X last week that experienced antitrust lawyers will be at the courthouse before the sun comes up to contest the new 15-day window as overly restrictive. During the 2024-2025 school year, more than 4,900 FBS players and more than 3,200 FCS players entered their names into the NCAA transfer portal in another record-setting year for transfer movement. In my opinion, this will put more regulatory and more control, and it won't look like the Wild West. Basically, the kids have to decide either when a coach gets fired or if they don't like how the season went with the current team, they'll only have 15 days to transfer, and it'll only be one window, and coaches don't have to constantly be recruiting high school kids plus recruiting transfers. It's not only going to be one window. It won't be a winter window. It won't be a spring window. And I think this is great for football. It will regulate it more, and it will look like more like the old college football of the past. Leave me your thoughts down below and your comments, and I appreciate your support. Like always, stay positive, stay on your grind, and go Gators.